Right now, there's a dog lying on a couch somewhere, staring at the wall. And if you asked its owner what it's thinking about, they'd probably say something like, nothing. But what if that's wrong? What if behind those eyes, there's something looking back? What if that dog knows on some level that it exists? Or, this is the question. What if you are the only kind of thing in the entire universe that knows it's alive? In 1970, Gordon Gallup Jr. came up with the gold standard test for self-awareness in animals. It's called the mirror test. While it's unconscious, you put a small mark on its body, a dot of paint on its forehead, somewhere it can only see in a mirror. Then you put it in front of a mirror and watch. Most animals think it's another animal. They posture, they bark, they try to scare it off. Eventually, they get bored and walk away, never once understanding that the thing they were threatening was themselves. But some animals do differently. They see the mark, look in the mirror, and reach up to touch their own body. They understand that the reflection is them, the animals that pass, chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans. Gorillas, but only occasionally. Dolphins, orca whales, elephants, and one bird, the Eurasian magpie. A crow-sized creature with a brain the size of your thumb that knows what it looks like. The animals that fail, dogs, cats, almost every other mammal on Earth, including human babies. Now here's where it gets complicated. Many scientists think the mirror test is a terrible measure. And dogs, for example, live in a world built almost entirely on smell, not sight. Asking a dog to recognize itself in a mirror might be like identifying your own heartbeat recording. The format of the test is wrong, not the dog. In 2017, Alexandra Horowitz modified it. Instead of a mirror, she gave dogs a scent version, their own urine and altered urine. Dogs spent significantly more time with the altered version of their own scent. They noticed something about themselves had changed. Dogs may know exactly who they are. But knowing who you are is different from knowing that you are. Philosophers have argued this. It's the difference between being a self and knowing you're a self, having experiences and knowing it. There's a word for this, metacognition, thinking about your own thinking, being aware of your awareness. It's what you're doing right now. You're not just reading, you know that you're reading. You can zoom out from yourself and observe yourself from the outside. Can animals do that? And the answer, increasingly, is yes. But it's messier than anyone expected. In 2007, researchers at the University of Georgia ran an experiment on rhesus monkeys. They gave the monkeys a memory test, and after each question, gave them a choice. Take a hard test for more points, or an easy test for fewer. The monkeys consistently chose easier questions when they were uncertain of the answer. They were evaluating how well they knew the answer before they gave it. That's metacognition. That's an animal thinking about its own thinking. And it doesn't stop at monkeys. Rats opt out of tests they haven't studied for, choosing a smaller guaranteed reward. Pigeons can report their own memory failures. Dolphins hesitate before answering, mirroring human uncertainty. These animals aren't just reacting to the world, They're modeling their own internal states. They know when they know something. They know when they don't. But science can't crack this. All of that, the mirror recognition, the metacognition, the self-modeling, it's all behavioral. We can watch what animals do. We cannot get inside what they feel. There's a concept philosophers call qualia, the raw, subjective texture of experience. They know when they know something. They know when they don't. But science can't crack this. Is there something it feels like to be a dog? Or is it just biological software? Thomas Nagel made this famous in 1974. What is it like to be a bat? His argument was simple and devastating. Bats navigate by echolocation. They experience the world as a landscape of sound reflections that we literally cannot imagine. No matter how much we study bat brains, we will never know what it feels like. The inner experience is inaccessible. How do we know there's anything it's like to be anything? Some scientists think we're massively underestimating animals. In 2012, neuroscientists gathered at Cambridge University. They signed the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. The structures that produce consciousness are not unique. Birds and mammals possess the same neural substrates for conscious states. In plain English, the hardware that runs consciousness in your brain exists in theirs too. The lights are probably on. Frans de Waal argued that animal inner lives were almost backward. We should be shocked if they didn't. Evolution doesn't tend to invent something from scratch. Consciousness almost certainly evolved gradually, just like legs, like eyes, like lungs. Which means it probably exists on a spectrum. We are not at one end of it. We're all somewhere along the same line. And then there's the evidence hardest to explain: grief. In 2018, a killer whale named Tahlequah lost her calf. The baby died shortly after birth. For 17 days, Tahlequah carried the body of her dead calf on her head as she swam. 17 days, across more than 1,000 miles of ocean. Her pod took turns helping her. Scientists called it a tour of grief, the longest ever recorded in any non-human species. There was no evolutionary advantage to carrying a dead body for over 2 weeks. Except that maybe she knew her calf was gone and couldn't let go.